Hello and welcome to this very special webinar on Thrive 2024. My name is Margaret Ferris and I'm very excited to welcome you here. This is the Professional Association of Resume Writers and Career Coaches. So if you're here for another association, please step off the flight and into a different one. I am thrilled to welcome the chair of the planning committee, Stephanie Rank, and some of her cohort are here today. So make sure that you go ahead and if there's any problems, you blame them on Steph and not on me. So make sure that you are asking questions, leaning in, sharing what you expect and what you hope to see. And I'll be here to listen into. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Margaret. I'm really excited about Thrive 2024. I have been working with Mark Missianu, Angie Callan, Morgan Catherine, and we have put together a stellar program that we're going to talk about today. So we have lots and lots of opportunities for networking, learning, training, meeting with experts. It's going to be wonderful. So I'm really glad you're here. If you haven't bought your ticket, go do it now. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So we did prepare a little slide deck, so we have some visuals, and we'll take it away. I think Morgan's up.
Okay, hi guys. So if you joined us last year for Thrive 2023, you will be very familiar with our hotel since we're using the same one this year. So we're going to be back at the Renaissance in Orlando. We've been working with a really great team there and we're very excited to get going. So we've got like the menu happening. We're working with our AV. It's going to be a good conference, guys. The team there has been amazing and we are so excited to have you.
Really liked that we could take a shuttle directly from the airport to get to the hotel because I was real nervous. I was like, how am I going to get? And I called them and they're like, cool, we'll be right there. It was so quick and easy. We're also having
Yeah, super convenient.
all your food is covered. So Monday, breakfast, lunch, dinner, Tuesday, breakfast, lunch, dinner is all there. So you don't have to worry about like spending extra dollars on food.
And we're gonna have so exciting. We're gonna have two parties, guys, two separate parties. So we're gonna have a fun banquet on Monday night. So we're gonna have like a buffet. We're gonna hang out. It's gonna be a really nice time. And then on Tuesday, we're gonna have like a poolside cocktail party. So bring your best cocktail attire and yeah, get ready to have a lot of fun because we're gonna work hard during the day and then we're going to have so much fun at night.
Should I wear my new burgundy suit for the cocktail reception?
Yes,
Maybe for the
absolutely. If you have
banquet?
an evening gown, this is the place
Mhm.
for it. White, like all the way up gloves. That's what we're looking for. That is the
Absolutely.
energy.
Absolutely.
But in all honesty, the attire is pretty much like whatever works for you guys. We're doing like a Florida casual, so whatever you feel comfortable in is what's most important. So we tease about the funny things we'll be wearing, but wear whatever you feel comfortable in. It'll be great.
That's right. We will have lots of networking opportunities, though. That's kind of the main,
It's
that's
the
not the
best
main
part.
point. I
Let's
mean,
just be
it's the
honest.
best part,
Even
right?
though we're
Like,
going to tell you all about how awesome the programming are and how fun the events are, the people are what make this thing the best.
Yeah.
absolutely. And you can be featured in a picture with the famous Margaret Ferris. Margaret last year was just popping around into pictures
We have a whole
everywhere.
database of selfies of us with Margaret. They're probably on her phone for none of us to ever see, but yes.
Correct. Absolutely. All right. Sunday night kickoff is going to be with Franklin Buchanan. He hosts Careers and Beers on LinkedIn, which you probably see all the time. So if you've not seen that, go check that out. Franklin is amazing, giving career advice while sampling different beers from local breweries to him in South Carolina and breweries from all over the country. So he's going to be leading a discussion. It's going to be kind of like a freewheeling, like hang out, network a little bit, talk about some topics, have some prompts where you can engage with other people who are going to be there, maybe make a few new friends because we want you to build relationships as like the first and foremost thing that you do at this conference. And so we'll have this after registration on Sunday night from 6 to 8. So you'll come, check in, register with us, get all the information you need, and a whole bunch of swag, and then hang out with us for careers and beers and meet Franklin, who is LinkedIn famous.
He is LinkedIn famous. I think of Careers and Beers as the practitioner version of kind of like the boot camp, right? It's almost like a mastermind of, but really specific to resume and coaching, like techniques, practices, and trends more so than like business. So it's going to be really relevant to everybody there, and I think it's super fun way to kick everything off. Franklin's so fun, big fan.
He's cool.
Which takes us into Monday, and we're super excited. We have somebody from our own industry kicking off the whole conference. Sunny Marquardt is going to be here as our keynote, starting the whole conference off on Monday, and really bringing in the idea of like authenticity in how we show up in coaching, which I'm really excited about because I think it's going to be a great way to set up the theme that we decided on for the event, which is how to create a really thoughtful, memorable, meaningful client experience, regardless of the environment in which you are coaching, writing resumes, or engaging. And luckily, I get to deep dive into that whole kind of topic and really set us off when I follow up Sunday, and really giving you all food for thought and opening your minds to this idea of rethinking how you engage with clients, how you help them evolve and empower, and how you elevate them through a real experience instead of something transactional. And again, applies to, whether you're in a university or institutional setting or whether you own a business, that memorable experience is what helps us change lives instead of just saying, hey, I wrote your resume. And that's what we want for everybody that we touch is to create that memorable experience. And so Sunday and I get to be your two kind of kickoff main sessions on Monday. And I think it's going to be a ton of fun leading into really great curriculum for the afternoon. So we brought back the HR panel. So for anybody who was at the conference 2 years ago, we had an HR panel that was like a huge hit. It could have gone on all afternoon if we'd allowed it.
Yeah.
Stephanie gets to moderate it, and we've lined up a really good mix of people who are recruiters and coaches, and some talent acquisition and hiring managers themselves. So we've got somebody coming in from Disney. We've got Tom Powner, who's going to sit on this panel. And if there is somebody more opinionated than me, it's Tom Powner. So get ready, right? As Margaret once said, she wants to see Tom and I have an opinion off. Maybe that needs to be a social event one year at the conference, but it's going to be a really great time. And fun fact on that, we are going to curate the questions based on what you want to hear. So be on the lookout for an opportunity to chime in and provide us some questions in advance. Mark looked surprised and didn't know that was happening, but it is going to happen.
Well, what I would say is, if you have questions that pop into your mind, stick them in the chat right now, and I'll grab them.
Yes.
Yeah,
I will grab them.
Save us a Google form, right?
Yeah, I have a document, but we'll set up a Google form to collect all of those questions. We'll make sure we get to them. It'll be great.
But I'm really excited that we're moving through. Like, I love how, and I'm just thinking about this, like how this first day is progressing. Because then you get this idea of like, okay, who am I in coaching? How am I going to bring that to the client experience? And what do I need to know behind the recruitment curtain to really help my clients or my people in the best way? Then we get into the nitty gritty. So we've got 2 tracks like we always do. We've got the kind of, let's say, coaching entrepreneur track. And then we've also got that really deep dive writer track. So on the kind of coaching entrepreneur track, we've got Lily Fogel, who's going to do an interview session, which I'm super excited about because she's awesome. We've got Natasha Saunders, who's going to do something really specific to engaging students. And then we're bringing Tom Powner back to deep dive into your LinkedIn game and how you as a creator on LinkedIn are that thought leader. On the writing side, or on the kind of like the resume and the real practitioner side, we've got Nancy Siegel coming in, and she's actually doing 2 sessions. So I'm stealing a little thunder from Tuesday, specific to federal. And she's a new addition to conference and a heavy hitter in that space. So that's a really great ad. We've got Diane, of course, who's going to come in and talk salary negotiations, which I think is going to be fantastic. I don't know that we've ever had a deep dive into that. And then Robin is there to kind of enhance and just put another stamp on what you need to know from talent acquisition perspective as you show up in the coaching engagement. And then, of course, We're closing it all out with the banquet. So bring your shiny shoes, bring your, what was it, maroon suede suit, Mark.
Right.
We've got some surprises in store for that. So you definitely want to come, right? So even if you're not the most social or you're like, oh, God, you're sending me into a room, food's going to be great. We're going to make sure it's fun. We're going to give away some stuff and really end Monday with a bang that's just going to roll us right into Tuesday in a fantastic way. Yes, Nikki, you can go shopping. I might bring a dress. We'll see.
I was thinking the
It's
same
always
thing.
an excuse to go shopping, right?
Exactly. I never, I mean, I've got a
Incredible.
whole closet full of dresses. And in case you didn't notice, I rock the outdoor attire, so I don't wear them. So I'm going to go shopping in my own closet and see what I want to break out.
That's
And then
so
that kicks
perfect.
us off for Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, let's talk about Tuesday. So, anybody who knows John Suarez, who may or may not be on this call, I will say I have met with John like so many times, kind of like one on one, and then heard him speak for the first time last year in like that formal setting of a, and he blew my mind. I have like 3 or 4 phrases that I stole from his presentation last year that I say to my clients all the time now. One of the big things that I took from him last year was you have to differentiate. I'm a thief, I know, but you have to differentiate between what is important and what is essential when you're writing a resume. And so I deal with that all the time now where clients are like, but I want to say this and this and this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, right. All of that is important. It makes you who you are. And I want you communicating that in the interview process. What is essential is what goes on the resume. And so let's talk about what is essential. What is that hook to get people interested in talking to you? So John is kicking off Tuesday. He'll talk about kind of, again, going beyond those bullets, like getting us to the point where the things that we are writing go from here to here. Like we really want to make sure that your ability to write for your clients is absolutely like blowing everybody else out of the water. So John always comes in with the energy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be engaging. It's going to kick off Tuesday morning. We are also starting a little bit later than we started last year because of the aforementioned party that we have planned for Monday night. That banquet will have some drinks flowing. And Stephanie and I could not wake up early enough on Tuesday last year. So we kicked it back a little
Tuesday
bit.
morning, I'm like, where's my staff?
We were asleep.
Still
We were
drinking
straight up
lemon
sleeping.
drops at the bar, Margaret.
It's true. It's absolutely true. So we're really excited to kick off Tuesday a little bit later, but John will have that energy flowing so that we really get to dive into our topics for the day because Tuesday is really heavy with programming. We want to make sure that we're giving as much value as possible. So after that, we have Corey Stewart, who spoke last year and is such a wealth of knowledge on things like DEI. And the coaching process. And so he's going to be talking about authentic DEI practices and how to be authentic in that space to kind of bring your whole self to make sure that you are being sensitive and have ideas and how to deal with different situations. And so it's going to be about kind of building you up and giving you the knowledge and like the skills that you need to deal in the DEI space.
Corey is such a fun speaker. He always brings some like funny little game, and he's just a ball of energy. So I'm super excited for this one.
Didn't he give away money last year?
He gave away money last year. Yes.
He gave away like $100.
I believe we also did a little like cha-cha mini slide at one point.
We had
Very
a
fun.
great presentation. People raved. I can't wait to see this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we pulled him into a main session was because he was in one of our workshops last year, and so only half the people got to see him. And what he has to offer is so extraordinary that we needed him to be a main session for everybody to see what it is he does and the knowledge that he can bring to our association. So I'm really excited to kick off Tuesday that way. Now we're having a whole bunch of stuff Tuesday afternoon. Again, these are where you'll choose a track. The cool thing with all of this is like if you really want to go to see Chris speak about pricing and how to craft services, but you're still really interested in what Denise has to offer about creating LinkedIn profiles for your clients, we're going to make all of the slides available to everybody from all of the sessions. So if you're going to Thrive, you're getting all of the material no matter what. So you will miss out on the engagement, the speaking, but because we're so networking heavy at this conference where our, breaks between sessions are half hour, so you can chat and talk and meet with people, you can go and talk to Denise and chat through those kinds of things. So we have Cami talking about structuring your client sessions, which is really, really important. I have taken a very long time to figure out the structure of how sessions go for my clients. And I'm excited to learn how to make that even better. Nancy's coming back on Tuesday for more about working with military clients and how to translate some of those documents and how to ask them questions and gather information that's going to make creating a civilian focused resume from military experience, because that process can be a lot to translate and really difficult to do. I will say, if you're at all interested in anything related to federal resumes or working with military clients, Nancy Siegel has a YouTube channel. If you just search YouTube for her name, she has like 300 videos all about working with military and federal clients and is a crazy wealth of knowledge. She has been in her industry for more than 30 years. She has seen it all. She speaks constantly at conferences. Like, this is a big get for us to have her expertise, because she knows everything about her job and the jobs of the people that she lands jobs for. So she's really cool. Of course, like I said, we'll have Chris talking about pricing. This is a thing that we get asked all the time. How do I price my services? How do I bundle things together? And Chris is going to tackle all of that for us because she is an expert here. Chris, do you want to say anything about your session?
Oh, you did put me on the spot, didn't you?
Yeah, I
I
did.
was just about to say you did get put on the
I
spot.
did get put on the spot. Rude, need more coffee. Okay. So we're going to talk about pricing and services, but talk about it from the perspective of the client, because so many people build their businesses based on this is what I want to do. This is what I think I should do. This is what somebody else should do, without ever figuring out what is your client persona? Who are you going to be serving? And then reaching back to everything Angie's talking about, the transformations, all of it, because if you want to beat AI, if you want to beat the cheap services, it's not transactional anymore. And how do you build that into pricing, services, and really people come to you not just for a resume, but they come so that you can support them and tell them how to do it. And I think we leave that part out of pricing a lot, especially for people just starting in the industry and trying to figure out how to do it. So that's my talk.
That's going to be so much fun. I love that so much. We will also have another LinkedIn topic. So Tom Pounder on Monday is going to be talking about like knowledge you need to know to make you a LinkedIn expert. And then Denise is going to be talking about like masterfully written LinkedIn profiles so that you're writing content for your clients' LinkedIn profiles that's going to make an impact on the reader and whoever's scrolling their profile. Denise is one of the best writers I've encountered in a really long time. She, like, just looking through her resumes and reading the content that she writes, it's always spot on and super solid. So getting some of those writing techniques from her is going to be really important to kind of elevate your writing. I will come in with a little AI topic, which probably is going to have to be some sort of a main session in 2025 because AI is huge right now. Everyone's using it for things. I even posted on LinkedIn the other day about how I'm doing some writing for a website, and they said you have to input everything you write into this AI detector. And so I tested it, and it can tell when AI writes something. I've started to realize that as I read more and more content that's written by AI, I can peg it every single time. It's got this feel to it that is not
3
human.
words
It's
and
not
one
authentic.
emoji, and you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It has patterns and really everything that I do when I'm posting on LinkedIn, when I'm writing for clients, anything that I have that's written by AI just never quite sounds like me. But I use ChatGPT every single day, all day long. And so I want to talk about how we can use it to make sure that you're being responsible and ethical with it, but also making sure that you're not producing something that a hiring manager is going to look at and go, "Oh yeah, that was written by AI." And so we'll talk about specific prompts you can use and how we can go deeper than just like write me bullet points, right? I want to talk about like ways you can use it in more engaging ways and to make your processes go faster. So I'm really excited about that. But what I will say is, Louise and I are at the same time, and so I'm going to be providing as much content as I can because I feel like a lot of people are going to want to go talk about the executive level writing and board level writing for clients. And Louise has published how many books, Margaret? Like 20 books or something, where she is like our industry's foremost expert on writing for that level. And so to get to hear her speak and to get resources from her and examples from her is going to be really, really valuable. So make sure that you're checking her out because being able to elevate your services and go from, I write for students, I write for mid-career, I write for, senior level folks, and then getting up to that board and executive level, not only is it fun and it's a fun challenge, but it's also honestly very, very lucrative. So if you can learn those skills and draw from her expertise, check out that session because it's going to blow you away. She will have a wealth of knowledge. Last year I sat there in her session like mouth agape, just being like, this is this is incredible. I loved her session last year, so check that out. Okay. We are closing Tuesday before our poolside cocktail reception with Jan Melnick. So Jan won our Frank Fox Award last year for service to Park and service to our industry. She has been doing this for a very long time and is going to be talking about her journey as a solopreneur, what that's looked like, because we know that a lot of folks, even who are working for academic institutions, departments of labor, nonprofits, or with the military, some of them want to be out on their own or have a side gig where they can make some extra money. So she's going to be sharing insights there, but all of her experiences, she was talking to me about what she wants to discuss and what she wants to share. Over 30 years of dealing with a family and solopreneurship and the changes in the industry and how everything has shifted. It's such great perspective for everybody to see how our industry has grown and the impact that it can have on people's lives. And so it's going to be a fun, like inspirational way to close out our Tuesday. And then we're going to party at our poolside reception.
And
So be prepared for lots of Margaret selfies, first of all. Um, and some great food. Again, the menu this year that Morgan has put together for us is incredible and delicious, and we will have drinks. So that's kind of all you need, right?
And we're going to have some fun awards here as well. So we have the Elite Circle Resume Contest Awards on Monday night. We have the Frank Fox Awards. We have more of our serious awards on Monday, and they're super important. We want to showcase all of our experts. But then on Tuesday, we're going to have some fun ones. So I really encourage you to definitely stay the night. I know a lot of our attendees last year left like right after the programming ended, and we would just love you to come and network some more because I mean, after all of that information, all of this, I'm just going, wow, those days are packed. Like we're going to be exhausted. This will be a great way to unwind and to really solidify the relationships that you make. Um, and it's a big deal. Like I met Mark on webinars through Park, but then I met Angie 2 years ago at a conference, and they both have been very supportive of my business. They helped me. I was working with Mark this morning. I'm like, I got some feedback. I don't know what to do with it. Just building those collaborative relationships with your peers in the industry will help you grow and become a better writer, a better coach. And then you're not so alone. You're not just, I'm in a 6 by 10 little office here. Like I'm not alone. I don't feel alone. And so building those relationships can be amazing. And so I really encourage you, if you can, stay Tuesday night, join us for the cocktail reception and have some more fun.
But you want to stay Tuesday night anyway, because you
Yes.
need to be there for Wednesday. So real quick, and I'm going off script because we forgot to add this little tiny tidbit. There are, throughout the conference, we're going to have some resources available out in kind of like, if you've been there before, that lobby area. So there's two things I think that would be fun for you to know are available. One thing we're doing is all of the people who run programs for Park are going to be available at different periods of time at a program table where you can come and learn more about specific certifications, ask questions about CPRW, because John will be on hand. If you want to learn more about the business, I'll be hanging out there. So that's something that we wanted to make available because we know there's a ton of questions that come up and people get really inspired to continue their learning after leaving the conference. Selfishly, I'll tell you that Mr. Angie is going to be there with a table about your website stuff. So I'm pretty sure, Margaret, he hates that designation. which is why I will continue to call him that. But yeah, Jim's going to be there. So you'll have some time to sit down and talk web with him. Luis and Jan will have tables for their books, right? So there's a little bit of a resource section there that I think is important to just call out. And I want y'all to know it's there. So if you've got questions about programs or about some of these specific things, there'll be an opportunity to talk to somebody. And like I said, you want
there.
What'd you say, Mark?
This is going to be the sneakiest sneak peek. No one knows about this except for like the three of us. We found, and we're still working on like negotiating this out.
Teaser.
But bring an extra $50 because we have a photographer who's willing to come and snap some headshots for us. She is a professional. She's local to the area, so we'll be supporting a local small business, but she's going to bring up all of her equipment, set up a booth for us, and for $50 she will take either 3 unedited images of you, front and then both sides, and give you those images like there on the spot to use for new headshots. Or for again $50, she'll give you one shot that you like the best and she'll edit it for you and send it to you. So something
Nikki,
that
go shopping for another outfit.
Yeah, grab another quick outfit. But we're all gonna be like in our business casual. Like I would wear this for a headshot, absolutely. And so
I'm gonna be rocking a flannel, y'all.
Wear something decently nice and grab a quick headshot. So we're gonna bring her in and we'll give a little bit more detail on that as we get closer to the conference. But I'm really excited about that too. Okay, but please talk about the boot camp.
We're just really trying to give you as many small add-ons, as much value, and just extra things to help you boost your image or build your business. Ha! That was a pretty good riff right into things, wasn't it?
Nice segue.
So we all came together and decided to kind of give this thing a shot that you see on this, which is what happens if we add a day. And Angie has so many opinions about everything. Let's have Angie curate the day. So this is a little, and it's also a little bit of a, let's say, a test of a next level build your business type offering, because this is really intended to grow upon that foundation with kind of that next level business growth, maybe even getting a little bit into scaling with really entrepreneur, solopreneurial specific content. So there's 3 modules in this. We are going to deep dive into automated marketing and sales funnels because I get a ton of questions about that. And it can be really onerous to onboard that into your business, but it can have dramatic impact on your business and save you a ton of time and help you do more with less. So that's going to be one section. And then another section is we're going to do a content camp to help you think through content for a whole year. Whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's social, whether it's blogs, we're going to work that out. So you'll kind of walk away with an idea of what you'll be doing for the next year. We may even be helping you do a couple little videos if you want to get into video and just empowering you to be the one take wonder so it doesn't become so big of a lift to get into it. And then the third part of that is kind of a next level sales. And that ties all the way back to the beginning of the client experience and how your sales and pre-sales environment sets the stage for a client experience, and the client experience helps you sell. So, and also how you tier up and begin selling a little bit more, pricier services if that's the stage you're at business. So, maximizing your lead generation and your time for what you get it, becoming that thought leader through content, and then putting all of that together to take your sales to the next level so that you've got a really consistent business that is growing on maybe hopefully already a 6-figure base. So that's boot camp day. It is an add-on, but I will give you more than $299 worth of value. I promise.
Absolutely. It's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited for that because that sales funnel and the automation thing is so stressful to me. And we've talked about it, and it's like getting to sit down and focus on that for like a good period of time instead of it being like, let's talk about this for 20 minutes during Rising Professionals. Like getting to sit down and do that is going to be really, really meaningful.
If any of you were at Rising Professionals, was it last week? I mean, you basically heard the consolidated version of it because we've done it all. And so it's like, what can I tell you that saves you time and energy is kind of like what we're trying to get into. So I'm really, really excited for this day, and I hope that if you're in business for yourself or are getting ready to be in business for yourself, you think about staying.
What I will say is, sorry, Steph, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just thinking about numbers because we already have 86 people coming to this conference.
Yeah.
We have 13 people already coming to the boot camp. And so this is going to just be, it'll be, last year will seem like small potatoes compared to this year.
Well,
Like it's
especially
going to
because
be
there's
bigger,
going to
it's
be
going to be
100
better.
people at conference.
Our goal is 100 people. So bring your mom or your friend or whoever.
Or Mr. Angie.
Or Mr. Angie, because we're going to be giving you opportunities. I think we have like 3 or 4 more learning opportunities than we had last year. And with more people, you're just going to build your base. Like, I met somebody last year, and I was chatting with her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I do federal resumes," and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness," because I do not, and I need somebody to refer them out to, and I got to send her clients, right? Like it's that kind of thing that builds up our industry and creates connections and makes things better. So please come and hang out with us.
Yeah, there's so much energy here. It's this is what our planning meetings are like. We just go all in on whatever the task is for the week. We're really excited about this one. We have some really great programming opportunities. We hope that every single session is going to bring so much value to your business. The networking opportunities are huge. You get to meet peers. And the one thing about the career coaching industry, we're all about knowledge sharing.
Mhm.
Everyone I have met has been so just open about sharing knowledge, sharing techniques, sharing client experiences, and we just help each other out. And this is the focus. I mean, this is our one big event every year. It's like raising professionals at 1,000%. It's writer for writer, member for member, 1,000% more. It'll be a really great opportunity. So I want to turn it over to our guest. Does anyone have questions for us? Anything you want us to talk about in more depth? Feel free to jump on mic or throw them in the chat. And while I'm waiting, oh, Dustin Beasley's here. So I met Dustin Beasley for the first time last year. And he was in a picture earlier where he was working with Angie and John. And it was so amazing to see this happen. He had just started his business full time. He was studying for the CPRW, and he was able to get together with experts to get feedback on his resume. And then he passed a couple of months later, if not months, weeks later. Like it was so wonderful to see that opportunity of, oh, I'm here. Let me get advice. Let me get some feedback and then do so well.
Angie,
You
you
know,
sat with him and John for like 45 minutes talking about resume
Yeah. And
templates
then he
and
freaking
styles
passed
and
with the highest
content.
score we've ever seen. So if
yeah,
that isn't a testament, and actually even just to, sorry, Dustin, you're on the hot seat. I met Dustin 2 years ago. And just the confidence change I saw in the year between the first 2 conferences and being able to meet peers, validate experience, there was such a drastic change. And all of that built the foundation for him to move full out of full-time work and into this as his career. And I want to think that Thrive was an influence in all of that, and like Stephanie said, the collaboration in the community really providing support to make a huge leap and achieve a huge goal like that is incredible to actually see, because whether you're in business for yourself or whether you do this under the umbrella of somebody else's sign, it is better together. Sorry, steal that from a previous political campaign slogan, but this business is better together, and career services is better when done together, because you get validation, you get to hear what's happening in the market, and you have more ammo to give your clients. And this is a great way to plug in if you haven't before.
I was looking at the registration list, and we have people from the State Department, we have people from the Air Force, we have solopreneurs, entrepreneurs who have grown businesses and scaled it. We've got folks from departments of labor, like nonprofits, academia. There are so many different perspectives in the room, and yet we're all doing the same type of thing. It's just you get to hear it from different perspectives. And so, learning from Dr. Natasha Saunders, who's one of the most respected women in academia right now, and student services. And I don't work with a ton of students, but I get them every once in a while. Like I need that session to give me new perspective to make sure that when I do get clients in that arena, that I know how to work with them and use best practices to support them. The number of recruiters or former recruiters that we're going to have there. I mean, Chris, you're a huge wealth of knowledge for recruiters. Elizabeth Harders is going to be there. She was a recruiter for years and has worked with all the applicant tracking systems, like the top 5. She's worked in all of them. So like knowing people who have worked in those spaces is great for me because I never have. So I'm really excited about that. I know too the connections that you make, like Dustin, I was talking to Elizabeth Harders the other day. Of course, our 30-minute meeting turned into a 45-minute meeting, but she was talking about how she met Dustin and now they meet every other week. They like have a little powwow and then they got together in Kansas City a few weeks ago for like a work retreat together because both of them work from home by themselves and they needed some time where they have a peer to work with and got to meet. And so it's those kinds of things that are going to be life changing, not even just business changing. Sometimes it's like a life changing thing where you meet people that really alter the course of your future, like I did with Steph and Angie and Margaret. All right,
Let's
any
remember
other
too that
questions?
this is an unregulated industry. So the power of people who are ethical, who are talented, who can bring your skills to job seekers, it's a game changer, not just for the people that you serve, and that is powerful in itself, but also for everybody else in the industry. So these opportunities to connect, huge.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. We'll just give it another minute for questions. We can hang out because we got some time. But we really look forward to seeing you all in Orlando, Florida,
Yay!
April 28th through May 1st. And let's get our learning
promise
on.
Perfect weather.
Yes. Sunshine.
And very good
And
sweat.
I think it only rained once last year in the middle of the day. A little
It
thunderstorm came
deluged
through.
though. It was